Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and welcome to our channel today. I appreciate y'all being here. And if you're new to the channel, if you're finding us for that very first time, welcome as well. And our topic for you today, it's proven strategies to improve weekend production. Proven strategies to improve weekend production. Now, before we get into our topic today, just a quick reminder, my focus, my mission here in the channel is I want to be able to provide as much information as I can to as many people as I can, across the globe. And the best way I can do that is when you choose to subscribe to the channel. So if you've not yet done so, take a moment, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. And then to learn more about me, learn more about my company and how we can help take your business that next level, be sure to check out the links below. And then for you folks who are looking to open a new gym, you need financing, you have an existing operation, you may need some working capital, we can help provide funding for up to $400,000. That is unsecured funding. There is no restrictions on use. And the minimum credit score to apply is a minimum of 680 in all three credit bureaus. Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, and then a minimum income of $50,000 per year each of the two previous years. So, the higher the better, but those are the minimum to get you started. You can check out the links below under financing and funding. We do have several different options, depending on your particular needs. And if you do have any questions on our topic today, if you have any questions on obtaining financing, feel free to email me direct. Happy to get those questions answered for you. And so, with that said, let's jump into our topic, proven strategies to improve weekend production. Now, one of the things we see frequently, for clubs that maybe they do okay on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but then there's a big fall off on the weekends, when people's schedules get a little more disrupted, okay? And one of the things we want to learn to do is we want to learn to get a strategy, for weekend production. Now, assuming everything's going well, okay, a general rule I like to follow, whatever my projections are, say when I wrap up shop on Thursday, I want to maintain those projections throughout the weekend. Now, if the numbers are down, we need to look at it a little bit differently. But if things are going like they should, okay, we're in line, we want to maintain these numbers over the weekend. So we're not necessarily looking to, have big numbers. We just don't want to lose ground. So when you come in Monday, there's not that starting over feeling. So proven strategies to improve weekend production. I want to give you some thoughts, okay, and we'll have some other videos on this as well to help you through this. But number one, have a meeting. Outline a plan. Every single week, you want to have a meeting with whoever is going to run the weekend. Okay, whoever is in charge of that weekend. What we want to see is a plan of action. What is the plan? What is the goal? Okay, what is the plan to reach that goal? What are potential roadblocks and setbacks? What are we going to do if that happens? Okay, but you have to have a plan. You just can't show up and hope that it's going to happen, okay? Get a written plan of action put together. And, the truth is, when you really get this down and do it right, sometimes the weekends can be better and easier because you don't have a lot of other things going on. You won't have near the workouts that you will have on a Monday, so there's less activity, so there's other things you can do. So make sure every week you've got a meeting, whoever is going to run that weekend, whoever it is, you want to see a plan of action. Check the channel here. We have other videos on how to actually write a plan of action. Okay, everyone should eventually learn how to do that. Number two, let's have weekend staff incentives. Okay, weekend staff incentives. Maybe a bonus opportunity based on production. Whatever your numbers are, how many sales would you be happy with over the weekend? I'm calling the weekend here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's kind of how I'm defining it. What's a good number for you? Would 10 sales those 3 days be a good number? Would 3 be a good number? Would 20 be a good number? What's that number? Okay, but have a manager bonus opportunity, or whoever's in charge, whoever's going to run that weekend, whoever's preparing that plan of action, they hit a certain number, they get a bonus. Give them something to shoot for. But then also, to the extent that you can, help them out a little bit. Maybe you got some door hangers going out. Maybe you're doing some social media marketing over the weekend. Maybe other things are happening. But let's always be willing to help them, get this done. Give recognition to your top producer. You hit some numbers, whoever that top producer is, offer some recognition. Maybe they get an upfront parking space for a week until that next weekend rolls around. Have prizes, for folks that do well. Maybe they get lunch certificates, dinner certificates, different things throughout the community. But have staff incentives to perform. We just don't want to show up and hope that it happens. We need to incentivize this in many ways, like we may be doing during the week anyway. And if we're not doing some of these during the week, first place to start, right? Number 3 on my list of strategies to improve weekend production, you want to increase weekend traffic with activity. You want to increase weekend traffic with activity. And this will be part of your plan of action, but create, just different activities. You might have to choose to have a member fitness party, okay, on a Saturday. Okay, you've got foods being catered in. Maybe you've done a trade out with local restaurants. You got events going on. There's a lot happening there. It's kind of like a little celebration, a little mini grand opening. Perhaps. But have a member fitness party. Have an open house. And again, check the channel. We have other videos here on how to conduct an open house, how to do these kind of things. Consider having these kind of events. We've had clubs that they've done, apartments have done like tenant appreciation weekends, okay, for their tenants. You could be closing out a business of the week, type opportunity. So there's a lot that can happen. And again, one of the things I would encourage you, if you have questions on this stuff, feel free to drop me an email. You can check it out below. I'll be happy to, get back with you, depending on the volume. Okay, sometimes it can take a little bit, but I'll get back with you and be happy to answer any questions you have. Because if you can master this weekend production, this can really go a long ways toward really getting your club production, where it needs to be. Consider having a cookout. I know we used to do cookouts. We used to do cookouts on holidays, on all the major holidays. We'd have a big family event. We'd have pony rides and a dunking booth and, tug of war and all kinds of events going on to attract more traffic. And make sure when you're doing all these things, to attract more traffic, people are registering in, they're getting a name tag, they're getting a tour. Let's don't lose sight of what we're there for, and that's to hopefully, get people signed up, get them involved in the program. So you can increase weekend traffic with different activities, and there's really no shortage. The only limitation you're going to have here is going to be your imagination. Number 4 on some thoughts to increase weekend production, have weekend giveaways. What are we giving away? Okay, because one of the things you're trying to do here, for your staff, is you want to reopen the lines of communication. Okay, hey, give me a reason to call somebody back. Okay, let's give them some help on that. Let's give the customer a reason maybe to say yes. Okay, so weekend giveaways. Think about bring a friend. Just bring a friend to work out. You get a free lotto ticket. You can go out and buy some lotto tickets, and you're going to give those away for anybody who brings a friend in. If their friend joins, maybe they get 5 tickets. Maybe it's just something as simple as that. Maybe it's something as simple as, hey, bring a friend, get a free movie ticket. Or bring a friend, get 2 free movie tickets. Okay, friend joins, and you get the following. Okay, so look at different kind of giveaways, and in some cases, you can probably go out in the community. You can get staycation certificates at local hotels. Restaurants will give you a script. There's probably a lot of things you can go out and get if you go out and ask for it. For certain freebies. Contact all your vendors, your equipment folks who you bought your equipment from. Free T-shirts. Other things they may have that you can give away. But have free weekend giveaways. Not only do it help entice traffic, but it also helps your staff again kind of reintroduce themselves to a customer that they may have talked to a few times and they don't know quite what to say. Number 5, this one kind of goes all the time anyway, and this is kind of the basis maybe of how you do a plan of action. But always do the math. Always do the math. Okay? And so let's just say, for example, you'd like to sign up 5 people over the weekend. Okay? Well, based on the math, what are you going to need? Well, you might need 10 people to show up. You might need to give 10 tours. You might need to have 20 appointments. So if you wanted 5 sales, you need 10 people to talk to show up. You need 20 appointments. So that's a 50% show ratio, across the board, 50%, closing ratio. So do the math and work toward the math. Don't work toward the actual sale itself. Work toward the math. How many appointments do I need? How many need to show up? How many am I going to close? And then how many phone calls do you need to make to do that? You're going to have to make phone calls. It's part of it, okay? I always tell folks all the time, if you don't love the phones, you're going to have to like them, a whole lot. So do the math on this. The math will tell you what to do, okay? And the math won't lie to you. And also, when you're thinking about some of these things on strategies to improve weekend production, you're doing the math. We need to talk to a certain number of people. Maybe you look at turning your existing customer into a prospect. Maybe it's a 2-day special, 3-day special. Add on a family member this weekend only. You probably have add-on programs, right? What if you gave that presentation to everybody who came in? What if you had an upgrade special? Upgrade your membership to a full service or additional value. Okay, everybody becomes a customer all of a sudden. Okay, so now you can really grow the business. Master these weekends. These things can be nice for you. And then finally, number 6 on my list of proven strategies, to improve weekend production, do a personal closeout. Now, are you doing closeouts right now? I hope you are, because you close out the month anyway. You're always closing out anyway. The mistake we make sometimes is we don't tell anybody. So you always want to be doing a closeout. You can check the channel, okay, for other videos on how to do a closeout, but that's the final day of something, right? We're kind of ending, whatever you're doing. Have a personal closeout. Folks you've been working with, hey, this is the final day, okay? And maybe they get a free t-shirt, they get a free whatever to come in, but have that personal closeout. Okay, where you're finishing this thing up and then you're moving on to that next week. So take a look at some of these tips. See if these can help you. If you're struggling on the weekend, this can be a great way to build it up. Or if you're working the weekend, you're trying to get noticed, you're looking for opportunity in your company, they've not been producing on weekends, what if you can be that person, that produces that revenue for them? It can make all the difference in the world. So folks, appreciate you being here today. Again, my name is Jim Thomas. My company's Fitness Management and Consulting. As I mentioned earlier, my focus, my mission, I want to be able to provide as much information as I can, to as many people as I can, across the globe. And best way I can do that is when you choose to subscribe to the channel. So if you've not yet done so, take a moment, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. And then to learn more about me, learn more about my company, and how we can help take your business that next level, be sure to check out those links below. And then for you folks who are looking to open a new facility, you need funding, you have an existing operation, you may need working capital, we can provide funding for up to $400,000, unsecured funding, no restrictions on use, minimum credit scores of 680 in each credit bureau, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, minimum income of $50,000 per year each of the 2 previous years. Obviously, the higher the better, but those would be your minimums to get approved for some additional funding, for your operation. You can check the links below under financing and funding, to get more information on that. And if you have any questions on the financing, any questions on funding and how that works, or you have any questions on our topic today, feel free to shoot me an email. You can check out the links below. Be happy to get back to you, answer all your questions for you. And we appreciate you being here on the channel today, and we'll look forward to seeing you on that next video.